Hello everybody, in today's video I am going to be unboxing and reviewing the TWSBI ECO in rose gold. So I purchased this from TWSBI Stationery and I will link that shop down below for you if you are interested. This is the second pen that I have gotten from them and it is always a lovely experience purchasing from TWSBI because they wrap things so beautifully and it ships almost immediately. So I did also purchase this really beautiful airmail letter paper, and it's very thin. It's almost like tissue paper, and it's got lines, and it's just phenomenal. But this is the packaging that was used, and then they also sent a ink like swatch card because I did purchase a sample of the Romance Gray from Kobe, and I'm excited to play with this ink. Unfortunately, I do not think I will be able to put it into this pen, and I will explain that in just a second. But basically, here is the packaging. It comes in a hard plastic case, which I really expected. I didn't expect that for some reason. I don't know why, but I actually really love this clear plastic case. It seems very nice and it protected the pen very well. When you open it, you've got some paperwork in here and some directions on the pen itself. And then this is what the pen looks like inside of its case. It comes with a wrench to open the piston. It comes with some silicone grease so that you can keep the piston and everything moving smoothly, and to put into your threads right here so that no ink comes out, because it the piston pulls ink through up here, and so you don't want any ink coming out of the top, and so the silicone grease prevents that from happening. So let's just pull the pen out here, and there's a little warning tag that warns you not to clean the pen with alcohol, I suspect because it could probably taint the rose gold coating that is here, here, and here. When I first got this pen, I fell in love with it. I still love it. I think it's beautiful. I love the way it feels in the hand. It's not very heavy. I did get an extra fine nib. That is my personal preference. But the one thing that I did struggle with and have an issue with right off of the bat was that my piston actually did not come off. So when I was using this wrench that comes with it, it was tightened so badly that I wasn't actually able to open it, and it should just be an easy, you spin it off and your piston comes out, and I'm just going to show you what that looks like now. It's quite a long thread, and so it takes a little bit of patience to get all the way there, but my pen didn't actually even do that. So this is how the piston comes out, and it is actually counter threaded so that when you're screwing the piston back in, this tip thing that I guess pushes this part down actually goes the opposite direction. Anyway, all of that to say that mine didn't work. I'm not really sure what happened, but mine was screwed on so tightly that it did not work, and so I had to contact customer service with TWSBI after I contacted TWSBI to make sure that I was doing it correctly and that I wasn't just like an idiot, because I've never had a piston pen like this before. But after I showed them the issue, they said, oh yes, that's definitely not normal. You should contact them immediately to figure out what they would like you to do. After speaking to several different people, I finally got hold of someone that was able to take care of me, and basically they had to send over the metal wrench so that I could open it with the metal wrench, and this is all it took. So basically this was just bending and it wasn't getting a tight enough grip because it's made of plastic. So they sent me the metal wrench that comes with the Diamond 580 TWSBI, and it came off with no issues, and I have been able to get to know the pen a little bit more, which is why I didn't ink it up immediately, because I wanted to get to know this pen. This is my first TWSBI, and I wanted to make sure that I knew enough about it and felt comfortable with the pen that I knew how to take care of it properly. I want to respect my things, especially things that cost a lot of money. This wasn't a expensive pen, but it also wasn't a cheap pen. It's probably in the medium range. I think I paid $50 or $60 for this pen. So I want to treat it with respect, and I want to know how it works before I start using it. So I finally have got it working and figured out, and I am so excited to ink this thing up. I, like I said, did purchase this sample ink, but the way that this pen works is that because it is, there's a piston chamber mechanism that sucks the ink up into the pen. I do not think there's enough ink in this sample to, first of all, reach these little prongs or this little feed right here to suck up the ink. And even if I did manage to get it into this feed right here, it probably would only be enough to fill like this chamber. And so it's just not enough ink to justify dirtying this pen completely up. So I have brought over my papier plume from New Orleans, Streetcar Green. It is one of my favorite ink colors. It is very delicate and soft, and it's not super in your face. I love the papier plume inks because they're not very, I've got a couple different colors from them, and they're not super in your face, they're not super blunt, not super bright, and I just love them. I think they're perfect. So I'm gonna open my ink up here and just kind of move everything out of the way so I don't trip over anything. And then I'm gonna lay this down on my surface. I'm going to push the piston all the way down so that I can create the suction that's going to pull it all up. I'm going to stick my nib directly down in there, and then I'm just going to pull up. And this is going to suck the ink all the way up in through the feed. As you can see, it's completely full of ink now. I know this is terrible, but I'm going to push it all back. And then I'm going to do it again. And just because I want it to kind of basically grease the entire pen. And you can see that quite a bit of ink gets into this pen. I don't necessarily need that much ink, so I'm just going to push a little bit more back in, because I just do not need that much. I think that's fine and fair. I'm going to put the lid back on. Okay, so I've cleaned off the pen so that I'm not going to get a bunch of ink on my fingers, and then I want to test it. Look how nice. Ooh, look at that. Oof, so good. All right, so I'm just gonna, look at that green. Can you even? Seriously, come on. I'm just looking at how the ink has just completely filled this feed right here. And I love that it's a demonstrator. You can see the ink moving back and forth. Another thing that I really like is that if I find a color that I absolutely love, I can fill it completely up. So that's really, really, really nice. I like that too. But yeah, so first impressions, I really like it. I love the way that it feels in my hand. I'm not sure if I love it posted. It feels a little bit top heavy, like it just wants to fall down. So I think it's just going to be one of those pens that I just write without the cap on or posted on the end of it. And I love the size of the nib. I think it writes really smoothly and I'm super impressed. So even though there was kind of a rocky start at the beginning, I was able to get the pen inked up and I can finally use it now, so I'm very excited about that. So I'm just gonna bring it in. It's really, really lovely. All right, there she is. Again, I will say I am not a professional. This is my first TWSBI. I am personally a TWSBIECO girl. I have 5 or 6 of them now, so they are my preferred fountain pen of choice, but I decided to give TWSBI a try because I've heard a lot of really good things and I can't afford a Sailor, which seems to be the most popular pen that seems to be kind of floating around the community right now. It's just a little bit far out of my budget, so I went for the next best thing in my opinion, which was to go to the TWSBI ECO to see if I liked different style pens past the TWSBIECO. I do, I love it, and I'm very excited to try more. So if you have any questions, I will try to answer them. Like I said, I am not a pen professional. This is just my personal experience. But I will leave the information of where I got this pen and everything you need to know about what I've purchased. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks. Bye.